What's up, everybody? My name is Astonishing Pix, and welcome to another review. And today I'm reviewing the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Cammy figure. Now, I don't really have much experience when it comes to Jada Toys, but I already do have the Chun-Li figure, which I like pretty much. And hopefully, this figure is just as good, if not better, than Chun-Li. And by the looks of it, I think that it is going to be better due to the articulation cuts that this figure has, and of course the line this coming after Chun-Li. So I know that they are improving every figure that they're coming out with, especially the Cyberpunk Edge Runners figure. I think those look amazing, and they are incorporating soft goods into them. So yeah. So anyways, before we take a look at this figure, let's look at the box. Now, the box looks pretty good. Again, it looks the same as all the other Street Fighter figures. I love the arcade aesthetic that it has going on. But of course, here is the front. As you can see, a picture of the character, and of course, the Street Fighter logo right there. And on the side, we have a little bio, and on the back, of course, you can see all the other characters that they have, and of course, another glam shot picture of Cammy herself. So here we are taking a closer look at the figure, so you could just see the paint job and of course the sculpting detail of this figure. Her outfit seems pretty simple, but it is what it is, and of course it is eye candy. Anyways, here is the articulation for the figure. So Cammy can look up a little bit, and of course she does have her braids that are articulated as well. They could pretty much swivel, but it is enough to get it out of the way in case you want to have more range looking up or down. But there it is. She can look up about that far, and she can't really look down all that too much, to be honest. I think that there is room for growth when it comes to the neck and head articulation for this figure, but she can tilt, which is pretty good. And of course, she does have pretty good shoulder articulation. She can go up about that far, but I think if you could push it a little bit further, she can make a full T pose. And she does have bicep swivel, of course, and she does have that wonderful elbow articulation, double elbows right there. You get full range, and of course she does have a good diaphragm joint. Well, it is okay, but you can't get that much movement. Pretty much only up and down, and of course a little bit of side to side, but you can't really rotate it. But she does have that lower joint right there, waist joint, that pretty much does most of the work when it comes to the ab articulation. So it does have pretty good ab articulation. So uh, there's that, and of course she does have her hip articulation that can move forward about this far up, and of course she can move back as well, which is pretty good. She could do the full split right there. So I think that this kind of articulation setup is pretty good for female figures, and I wish it's something that Hasbro would incorporate. And of course, she does have her thigh articulation, which can move pretty much well. And she does have double knees, but usually on Jada toy figures, the knee articulation is a little bit stiff. So be aware of that. Maybe heat it up before you handle the figure. And of course, she does come with that nice boot swivel right here, and she also does have a pretty much good ankle rocker that can go down, up, and of course, she can pivot, though it is a little bit difficult. Again, hot water or a blow dryer will fix that. So, moving on to the accessories, she does come with a good amount, I would say. So, she does come with an alternate angry head, which looks pretty good. Again, Jada Toys does not disappoint when it comes to alternate heads or action heads, so it is pretty good. And of course, she does come with another set of hands. So, she does come with two like karate chop type hands, and of course, two fist hands. And she does come with a special effect. Again, I'm not familiar with this franchise at all, so I don't really know what kind of move this would be. So I gotta do my research on that, but it is pretty cool nonetheless. All right, so next we have the size comparison, and first off we have the Jada Toys Chun-Li next to Cammy. They scale pretty much well. Next we have the Unparalleled Universe Odious the Living Curse action figure. Looks great. Next, we have the SH Figure Arts Momo Ayase. And last but not least, we have the SH Figure Arts Thanos. So overall, I think that this is a pretty good figure, and I highly recommend you guys pick this one up, especially if you're into Street Fighter or like anything Capcom related, or if you're just a fan of Jada toys. They're relatively new to the action figure scene, but they have already released a ton of Street Fighter figures. So from what I hear, those figures are pretty good, and I'm looking forward to getting maybe Ryu next. And yeah, I mean, they're doing a ton of different lines. But when it comes to this figure, I think that the paint job is there and the articulation is there. I think the articulation honestly puts Hasbro to shame when it comes to female figures. I think Hasbro is doing a pretty good job with the female figures, but I think that this articulation setup is, beating Hasbro when it comes to that. So I hope that this makes competition pretty good when it comes to tooling and stuff like that. But yeah, again, this is a great figure. I recommend it, and if I were to rate it, I would give it a. Mm, all right, I give it an 8 out of 10 solely because I think that the articulation on the torso or the diaphragm joint could be better, and of course I think that the head articulation also could be better. She can't look up that much or down at all pretty much, but she can tilt and she does have good sideways movements, so she does excel in those parts. But again, it could be better when it comes to the neck, head, and diaphragm joint articulation. And of course, I wish that the joints weren't as stiff, but it's better that they are stiff rather than be loose. So it is what it is when it comes to that. So an 8 out of 10 is my final score. And again, I recommend it. I really do hope that Jada Toys does pick up the Resident Evil license. I love Resident Evil, and there aren't much figures when it comes to Resident Evil, and I feel like they could do a great job, especially since they're doing soft goods now with the cyberpunk figures. So I really want them to make a Leon, Claire, Jill, Chris figure. So I hope that they pick it up. I know that is kind of different when it comes to Street Fighter and of course Resident Evil. I know that they're different, but they're both by Capcom. So if they could get Street Fighter, I hope they could get Resident Evil, as there are great Resident Evil figures out there, especially by third-party companies. But let's be real, those are too expensive for me to just buy willy-nilly. So I hope that they could bring out a much more affordable price. I know that their cloth figures are going for about 40 to or 30 35 to $40 at most. So I feel like that range is pretty reasonable if they plan to do soft goods on certain figures. But other than that, I think that Jada Toys has this in the bag, and of course, I'm excited for whatever they release in the future, and I will be keeping a close eye on them. But yeah, anyways, that is it for my review. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Check out my other platforms such as Instagram and TikTok, but TikTok is going away in a few days, so might as well just stick to Instagram where you can see behind the scenes and, of course, some toy photography of my favorite action figures. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.